Okay, so the reason we've swapped a couple things up is due to the nature of Civa being really advanced. Obviously, to get you guys to that level, there's like steps before that. And so what we have discussed is Civa is going to do more lessons and trainings on specific topics rather than an additional trade call. So you guys get extra trainings like what's in the education, so to speak. Um, and then from there, we'll bring him back on to do New York sessions. We may even change the time because obviously we want as much live attendance as possible, but also know that New York time is a bit of a yucky time for most. And so for now, we've got Rock doing a London session. Obviously my call, Wednesday beginners call, Civa's fortnightly trainings, Shane's fortnightly trainings. We have so much for you. Okay. We have Zach McDonald also coming on to do a couple of sessions, maybe like once a month or something as well. I'll introduce him too, but him and I did Tradehouse years ago and he's still an educator in the previous platform, but he's like Wyckoff Lord. But also he's an Aussie, very cool guy. Love him to bits. So you'll get to experience some of Zach as well. Reason why we're bringing on a few, even though, it's all the same stuff, is just from an articulation standpoint. Sometimes when one person says something, it goes straight in one ear, out the other, and then the other person can say something in a slightly different way, and you just have like moments of breakthroughs. So that's really the only reason why. It's not to give you more, it's so you find someone that you really like and you can like learn from. Okay. Now, we're going to have a bit of a workshop. So do you guys all have notepad and pen? Grab that, grab that. Now, I just want to do some housekeeping initially. Now, the way trading is marketed, right? It's both kind of a blessing, but it's also a bit of a curse, especially for someone who's new and someone who's a beginner, because I want you to think about, and I use this all the time, like think about what lured you into this, because chances are you came into this game because you saw other traders online, either trading large amounts of capital, earning, trading full time, traveling, whatever it was, right? And most of us are actually hooked by the lifestyle that trading can give initially. And, I guess the pro of this hook is that it's the hook that gets you started. Okay, it's the thing that gets you into this. But the con is a lot of the people that promote that type of lifestyle and whatnot, even I'm guilty of it myself. The con is we can kind of give the visualization of how easy it is and how quickly results can come in. And as you all are learning, trading is not easy. So the process of getting to the end goal is pretty fucking straightforward and it's quite simple, right? But it is far from easy. Okay. So this is where I see a lot of people fail right before they get really good, or they quit before they get really good. Johnny, your cat wants a pat. He's like, excuse me. So where I see people fail right before they get really good is because of their relationship to patience, right? Now, anytime you catch yourself being impatient with where you're at in your trading journey, believing and thinking that you should be further along by now or that other traders are passing you, whatever, progressing quicker than you, I need you to stop, right? Because in moments of that, right, it's time for you to just stop, and it's time for you to take an audit, grab your journal, pull out a pen, and I need you to reflect on your own progress from where you have been to where you are today, right? I want you to sit down with yourself and actually focus on how much you have improved since the very first day you started. Okay. And this is not to focus on what's wrong, right? It's to focus on what you've done better since you've started, right? And it's, don't compare yourself to others or where they're at or what someone else says. Focus solely on you versus where you were a month ago, where you were 2 months ago. Okay. Because all trading failures, right? Even when people quit, they quit in terms of that failure. Like, to me, failure is when you completely quit, right? And you've thrown in the towel. If you haven't quit, then you're not fucking failing. You're just learning. You're making mistakes and you're learning. Okay. You're not failing. Okay. And I spoke about this a little bit in beast mode, and I'm not going to talk about it right now. I can do another session on that. But where people failure is one's ability to manage their mental state, which is why I shared what I shared in Discord before, right? If you catch yourself feeling frustrated, doubtful, these are the times where you need to become mindful and you need to journal out your thoughts. Okay. Now, when it comes to seeking help, when you plug into Discord, we are all here to help you, right? But this is not a space for complaining, and it's not a space for sharing frustrations from a victim mindset. Okay. So this part of this tonight's call is really just about resetting the standard of what Tradehouse is about and how to use the Discord. Okay. And it's quite simple. Anytime you want to plug into the Discord and share, the lens in which I want you coming in from is, I want you to ask this question. Is me sharing this going to expand or contract the group? When you go to share, that's what I want you, that's the question I want you to ask yourself before you go and type. Is me sharing this going to expand, or is it going to contract the group? Because blaming and coming in with a victim state or frustrations, that is going to be the thing that disempowers you, right? And self-responsibility is the thing that empowers you. So yeah, it spreads, fucking contagious. It's yuck, right? So when you have something come up for you with this work, a frustration, even a win, right? And you decide to bring it in. I 100% believe that we're all collectively responsible for the environment of Tradehouse, right? We are collectively responsible for our own journey, right? So what I ask is, can you hold the duality that you are 100% responsible for your own outcome and equally responsible for everyone else's outcome? Because your contributions contribute to someone else's outcome, whether it is good or bad. So can you just remain conscious about what you choose to bring into the space, how you choose to show up? Because how you choose, whether it is a complaint, frustration, or a win, is also going to be the thing that dictates someone else's experience, right? So can I just ask you to hold that responsibility for me, for you, for everyone in the community, right? Can you be mindful of what and when something comes up for you and how you decide to bring it into the group, right? You know, being able to be something where, what am I trying to say? Being able to be, as in be something or someone where something comes up for you without you having to influence the collective is actually really fucking powerful. The energy of neutrality, right? Because a lot of people, this is why I have a huge emphasis on emotional intelligence, right? On emotional fitness, on emotional endurance, because a lot of people can't have things come up for them without them projecting it onto others or in a group in an unhealthy way, right? Part of emotional intelligence is being able to hold the frustrations of trading without letting the erratic behavior come out and then you act it out. You can share anything you bloody want. I want you to come in guns blazing, the good, the bad, the ugly. I just want you to be conscious about how you're doing it. Right? Is what I'm about to share going to expand or contract the collective, is what I want you asking every single time you share. Right? It's like I can have things come up, but I also don't have to impact someone else's journey by my own experience. Does that make sense? The best traders sustain self-awareness. They know that they have flaws. They know that they want to be aware of these flaws so they can minimize them, but also maximize them to their strengths, right? They're also aware of their strengths and they seek to stay grounded at all times, right? So this conversation here, this standard, this new thing that I'm reinforcing, think of it as like, you know, when Apple sends out, you know, new terms and conditions and you got to accept it. That's what I'm doing. I'm Apple right now. So it's not about you not bringing things in. It's just about what are you normalizing in terms of frequencies for others, right? Or what are you bringing in that's potentially lowering your own standard and bringing down your own frequency to normalize frequencies that aren't conducive for the collective group of Tradehouse. How's that feel? Thumbs up? Perfect. So today's session is all about goal setting, but in a different way. You know, the SJ way. It's the way how to fucking actually achieve them. Okay, so I love this session. So I want to start with, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I'll chuck a song on. I just want you to write down what your trading specific goals are for the next 12 months, right? And I want you to set these goals based on the, you know, the realisticness, whatever word that is, of where you are at in your journey right now, right? If one of you is like less than 6 months in, even 12 months in, and you say you want to be a 7-figure trader by the end of this 12 months, I'm personally canceling your own subscription. Like, I'm logging in and you're out, right? I want you to set goals that you know will stretch you, but you also know it's achievable if you do the right fucking things. If you know it's too easy, then go a little bit bigger. And then when you're done, write in the chat, done. I'm going to chuck a song on. Okay. Can you please drop them in the chat? And don't be scaredy cats. If you can't declare your goal and be confident about your goal, what do we do? Drop it in the chat. Right, funded with one account, efficient at Wyckoff, Rebel with wealth set up and running. Finished THA phases and course with competent understanding, trade mode money for 6 months, 8 to 10% per month, past funding challenge. Good understanding of Wyckoff. Journals to a high standard. Investment plan in action, fluent in the strategy, treat it like a business. 6-7 figure funded capital. Build a 6-figure account from my own capital. Have disciplined approach to trading, mentor the RWW membership. To grow my personal account to 1K, to journal all my trades and my feelings about, oh my God, I can't fucking read. Perfect. I keep hearing about being patient, so I'm reluctant to write down 6-figure funded within 12 months, but I'm honestly unsure what else to write besides just keep working on trading. Let's go write down 6-figure funded. Write it down. Unconscious competency in my systems. I'll touch on that in a minute, Joshua. I want to be able to have a consistent flow in trading, not necessarily be consistently profitable yet. I want to have set routines that I'll be able to stick to. Work out my actual trading plan. Integrate Wyckoff on a deeper level. All right, some of you can choose better goals. Just going to say it. Like, for example, Stu, I'll just call you out, work on your trading plan from start to finish. Work out your trading plan. You should work out your trading plan and be fully tested before the 12 months. 100K funded challenge, consecutive payouts, dive deeper into Wyckoff. Consistently in live trading, financially honest. I love that. Loving myself. Build my personal trading account to 50K. Earn enough through funded account to pay all of our bills. Epic. 1 to finish basic training for THA. Reese, pick a bigger goal. You could do that in a month if you wanted to. Is what I mean. Like, pick a goal that you could stretch, but that's too small. Have a fun dead. Have a fun dead. Have a funded 100K trading account. Maintain the funded $100,000 account. Have completed psychology course. Alaska, okay. Finish THA course and have a clear understanding. Yep. All right. Some of you, I want you to pick some bigger goals, right? To take 12 months to finish the initial training, pick up the pace. Remember, I said this is the year that trading needs to be taken seriously. 2025, going to be wild. Just got this feeling. So yeah, you need to be working on being profitable this year, okay? Not to put the pressure on you there though. But I know some of you can actually do that. So my next question is then, I want you to think of a goal you've achieved. What was it? Just think about it. What was a goal you have recently achieved? Then I want you to think about, and you can do this as a homework task later. Write this down. What is a goal that you have achieved and what was it? Obviously, I just said that. But how did you then achieve it? Write that out. How did you achieve that goal? Okay. Then I want you to think about a goal you didn't achieve that you missed out on. Why? Why did you not achieve this goal? I feel like I want you to answer them now because I feel like some of you won't do it later, but I'm going to trust that you're going to do it. I want you to think about a goal you've achieved. Yeah. Question. Think about a goal you have achieved. What was it? How did you achieve it? Think about a goal you didn't achieve. Why? Now, rarely have I ever achieved a goal because I've said, I want this, right? I didn't achieve a six-figure funded account 4 times over, never blown one because I said I wanted it. I just want this to be trading related, but you can do this process to absolutely any goal you want. But for the sake of trading, this is what I want you to do. Rarely have I ever achieved what I have in my life right now because I said I wanted to do it. My next question to you then, and this is one I want you to write down. What would the highest and best version of me look like? Be like, act like. And then I want you to write that down, but also in the chat. So another way to word that is for you to achieve those goals, who do you have to be? Someone effortlessly creating success by being in love with the process. Love it. Drop in the chat, what is the highest and best version of you? As I've said on other calls before, the reason you don't have all the things you want is because you're not yet that person. Otherwise, you'd have it. Even if you got funded and lost it, you may have got funded, honestly, by a fluke. It's very easy to pass funding challenges, if I'm being very honest. To keep it and withdrawal is another conversation. That is identity. So if you got funded and you blew it, it is also because you are not the person who can attain that. I would be happy, healthy, confident. I would radiate happiness, calmness, and confidence. What else, guys? Like these are all I would be, right? But if you were someone who had a six-figure account, grew your trading account, what other traits would you need? Someone who is passionate towards the process of learning rather than the results and be comfortable with lots of failing. Yeah. Strict system. I've been practicing being kind to myself. Yep. Hating yourself never gets you far. May as well try loving yourself. It's working. I'm glad. Confident knowing when to say no to things to focus on my priorities, resilient, accountable. These are the things I want you thinking about. The reason I want you thinking about this is because hard work doesn't always pay off, right? And what I mean by this is, let's say you are a cashier at a bank and all you do is count fucking coins. Do coins even exist anymore? I don't know, right? But you're a cashier at the bank counting coins, okay? If that's all you do every day for 8 hours, you're going to get really fucking good at counting coins, right? But that doesn't make you the best version of you. So here's the dilemma. If you don't love what you're going, if you don't love what you're doing, I won't say it in the you, I'll say if people don't love what they are doing, they will become best at what they hate. And when you truly study top performers in any field, what sets them apart is not their physical skill. It's how they control their mind. right? So that the equation for this is actually really fucking simple. Okay. The best version of you is purpose times courage times control times fucking hard work equals to become your best self. Right? You must gain control over those variables: purpose, courage, control, hard work. Insert whatever. I just pull them out of my ass. That's how you become your best self. So take the best version of you equals and apply all the traits that you need to achieve your goals. That's your equation. Right? And if you're sitting here and you're like, I've heard this before, then it's time for you to go back to square one. Right? Are you really sure you want to be the best? Because what happens is experts in their field also hear those thoughts and they fuck them off. Because if I'm hearing it again, then it must be important. Expert people are never too big for the small things. Okay. And if you're struggling with reframing that, the reframe will always start at the goals that you set yourself, because setting the right goals can actually be the thing that gives you confidence, can actually be the thing that gives you the right, the achievement of just even your best self. So with those goals that you write, some of you said, I need to have bigger goals, right? If you're like, when you look at your goals that you write down, do they make you a little bit scared? A little bit afraid? If you are 100% sure you can achieve them, then they're too easy. And when I say if you're 100% sure you can achieve them by doing what you're supposed to do, then it's too easy. What I want you to consider, what beliefs you have in your mind wandering around on default all the time. Who's told you that you can't achieve your goals? Could be someone else, could be you. Do you actually believe it? What mental limitations do you have? Are they really true? The reason I'm getting you to answer these questions and consider these questions is because something I always say, who you are right now has gotten you this far. It's not going to get you where you're going. Otherwise, you would have it. So you need to know what the best and highest version of you looks like, what behaviors he or she has, traits, habits, thought patterns. How do they handle the wobbles? You know, I had a client yesterday, or whatever day it was, Monday. It was Monday yesterday? I don't know. Tell me that my mindset is uncommon, in the sense of, and I was reflecting on this with Chip, this is where I can actually see myself being a little bit, of lacking empathy with the majority. My tolerance is quite low for bullshit, for shit that's not true, for self-imposed limitations. This is the mindset I need you guys to develop, and that's what I'm going to be working really hard on this next 12 months. Thank you. I'm not the coach for many, but I appreciate those who enjoy it. So I want you to consider who you are now. You may say you have the traits of consistency, persistency, resilience. But if they were true, then there's only two things I can say to that is time now just has to catch up. If you're being the things, and time, it's just a matter of time. Time before you get what you want. Or you're fucking delusional. You're not that. It's either one of those two things. Right? So let's think about a scenario. Let's say you've got something to do at work. I don't know, a presentation. I don't know what, but or maybe it's a uni assignment or something like that, right? And you've delayed it and you work on your presentation all night and you're not 100% done yet. And you decide to pull an all-nighter and then, I don't know, wing the rest of the presentation. So you're not quite prepared. Your presentation flops. This scenario can be trading related. You don't have a trading plan. You aren't consistently practicing. You show up to the charts and it's a fucking flop. So what excuse do you make then? Do I ask yourself, okay, how can I make this better for the future? Or do you say, it's not my fault, nothing I could do about it, the fucking, NFP this, news did this, whatever. Right? If you chose the second one, remember, blame disempowers. Okay, if you chose the second one, science, not me, but science has some news for you. And it says, if you make excuses, your success will suffer. If you make excuses, your success will suffer. So what excuses are you making for your failures? Right? So another exercise you can do, and if you did beast mode today, then you would have done a version similar. I want you to make a list of all your failures and save them. Write it out and, make a failure file. Right? Not a big jam file, but a failure file. I want you to dissect the failure and learn from them instead of being a victim to them. Dissect them, review them, learn from them, because that's what we do in trading, right? I want you to honor those failures because they've made you who you are. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to make an achievement list. What are all of the things? I want you to write out all of the things you've overcome, all the things you've achieved in your life, all the things you've overcome that you thought would have fucking broken you. And here you are today. You're going to save this as your success file. And any moment on this journey of trading that you start doubting, you're going to read these, both of these files, your failure file and your success file. And you're going to draw upon the evidence that you can do hard fucking things. You're going to pull on those when you feel like doing something else, right? When you choose a behavior or you choose to do something other than what you're supposed to do, that's ultimately going to delay your goals. The question you need to ask yourself is, what would the highest and best version of me do right now? The person who is trading full-time, funded, living how I want to live, what would they do right now? The answer to that you'll be doing that within fucking 2 seconds. Right? A lot of personal development content focuses on shit like productivity and health and wealth and fucking happiness, and which is fine, except these goals can actually overshadow the most important question that you need to ask yourself. And what kind of person do I want to be? What kind of person has the things I want? What kind of person do I need to be to achieve these goals that I've just written in the chat? Right? Someone once told me the definition of hell is the last day that you have on earth. The person you become will be the person you could have become. Right? The last day you have on earth, the person you became will be the person you could have become. So that's a punch in the fucking belly. You don't know when your time's up, man. I also want you to then write out, what are the consequences of you not achieving these goals? I mean, seriously, what's the cost? In 12 months' time, let me just scroll back up. In 12 months' time, Jason, in 12 months' time, if you're not consistently withdrawing, if you're not teaching more, if you're being a fucking loose cannon with your emotions, what happens? D, if in 6 months' time you don't have a 6-figure funded account and you're not consistent with your journals and Notion, what happens? What happens? What's the consequence? Zach, 100K funded account, consecutive payouts. What happens? Stuart, if you don't work out your trading plan from start to finish, step by step, and be disciplined and follow your systems, what are the consequences? In the chat, I'm realizing more and more that I'm getting in my own way. Wait, I'm getting in my own way if I am not on my own side kind to myself, no matter how much failure I encounter, beating myself up for this shit. Literally, yeah, that you should not be beating yourself up for it. Thank you for quoting that. You know, the most common reason people fail to achieve their goals is not because of their lack of ability, but their lack of consistency in following the systems and the processes, right? So in order to succeed, you've actually got to set yourself up for success. We're never going to achieve something just because we say we want it. So when you're wanting to achieve an outcome, there is a mindset you must adopt, which will multiply your chance of success by 100, right? So no matter what you do, there are targets you put in place for yourself that is going to determine your level of accomplishment, right? And there is nothing wrong with setting goals. The only thing that is wrong with setting goals is you focusing on them. Okay. Now, the attainment of an outcome, the attainment of your goal, the achievement of your goal does not come from placing your attention and only your intention on the outcome, does it? Right? You achieve the result as a byproduct of your processes, of your systems, of the work that you are putting in. The work is the process, which is why you need to learn to set process-orientated goals, not outcome-focused goals. James Clear talks about this all the time. You know, process goals focus on the process, the steps needed to take to achieve what it is that you want. And if you do that correctly, you don't ever have to worry about getting your goal because it'll be achieved by default. Does that make sense? And that way, when you actually achieve your six-figure funded account, whatever it is, it's not going to be a surprise. When you pass a funding challenge because you've done the right things with your processes, with your identity work, your systems, you probably it'll be a cool achievement, but it won't be a surprise. It'll be like, oh, cool, I did it. But of course you did it if you followed your systems, right? So a key component of process goals is control, right? Outcomes are not often in our power. But what happens, what is in your power is your processes. They're completely in your control. This means that you are the one and the only one that holds the power to achieving your goals. Right? I said before, there's nothing wrong with setting an outcome goal for yourself. The only problem is focusing on it solely. That you do whatever, you look for shortcuts, you go shiny object syndrome, you do whatever, you jump from here to here to here, oh, that person's teaching that, they're doing that, I'm going to go do that to get the end result. That's not how we do it. By putting process goals into place, you eliminate the worry about the end result, because if you're following your processes and systems, you achieve it. Right? A way of thinking that helps me when differentiating between process and outcome goals is seeing the outcome as this stationary singular object, whereas the process, it's a combination of action. It's moving, right? And what happens is an outcome orientated focus focuses on the what, but the process focuses on the how. You know, and this is what I fucking hate about the woo-woo world, when they spit some bullshit like, the how doesn't matter when you've got a strong enough why. Like, no, the how fucking matters, right? Because you need to have steps in place to get there. Okay, because not only does the how identify, the physical actions you must take, but also the mental state you must need. So thinking about the process involves diving into every aspect that's going to contribute to what it is that you want. And your attitude and your mental state is going to play the huge role that helps you attain that thing, that allows you to have that emotional endurance for when it seems like it's a shitty time. Okay, so like I said, I'm not against having an outcome that you desire. What I'm against is it becoming your focal point, right? You need to have an outcome because you got to know what you're focusing on, obviously. But once you've set that outcome, I want you to then shift your mindset to think, okay, how can I put myself in the best position to make this happen? What do I need to do on a day-to-day basis to make this happen? And you just essentially pick your goal and then you shift your mindset to the process, the set of actions that's going to get you there. So it's like, it's as you're removing your attention from the outcome onto the process, this is where you now get to determine what that process is, right? So with your goals, I'm going to give you 5 minutes with a song on. I need you to write out and get very clear what needs to happen in order for you to reach this goal. How do you need to be physically, mentally to put yourself in the best position to succeed? Okay, so if you've set this goal, this is what we call reverse engineering, right? No one loses 15 kilos like I did last year because I said I wanted to. I lost it because I fucking tracked every spoon I licked. Stop being a fat little fuck. And I tracked my food. I got healthy. Health was my focus. Health was the identity I needed to embody. What is the process, right? If you want to increase your revenue, what process needs to happen each day? What are the actions that need to be happening? If you want to hit whatever goal in trading, if you want to get through the education, you guys just saying, I want to be through the education. How are you going to do that? You're going to watch one video a day? That's what I mean. Like some of you, those goals with education, you could do that in a month. It's this whole saying around give yourself 2 weeks to do it, you'll give yourself 2 weeks. If you give yourself 2 days, you'll fucking get it done. Sometimes urgency can be very good. Even though I'm talking about patience, urgency is also a relevant conversation. I'm going to put a song on and I want you to identify what it is you need to do. How did you guys find that exercise? Did you get a little bit clearer? Yeah, awesome. So now we're talking, guys, on a day-to-day basis, right? Because the process towards an outcome for you achieving what it is that you want, it's made up of individual moments and days, right? If you're worried about the process you must follow next week, it's taking you out of the process that you have control over right this moment, what you decide to do right this moment. You know, I said this to my guys last night. If you're worried about next week and what you can do next week, that's like saying you can't go for a walk tonight because it's storming next Thursday. You know, like you achieving your goal is what you do in the individual moments, right? So the key component to having process goals, it impacts you because you're focusing on the moment. You're not focusing on whether or not you're going to achieve it. Exactly. I want you to give 3 words to describe the mindset that you're going to adhere to for the next 12 months. And then write that in the chat. What is your word? 3 words. Yeah. Just give 3 words to the mindset that you're going to hold yourself to over the next 12 months. My motto of the year is literally just fucking beast mode. Hence why the program's called Beast Mode. Become the beast. Choose purpose over pleasure. Have a little chocky every now and then, though, Lenny. Jiggy little chocky. Disciplined, focused, clear. Whole block, that a boy. Okay, you're still having some pleasure, so that's fine. Consistent, accountable, intentional. So with those words, it's cool to have those words. Now you're going to write out your meaning. What do those words mean for you? It's just like the word success. People want it, yet they haven't defined it. What's success to me is not going to be success to you. So whatever word you're going to live by, you better define it to make sure you're adhering to it. Right? No outcome is gained through just constantly grasping at the hope you're going to get it. It's results based. It's process based. And this is why we say, you know, process orientated, trust the process. It's not just some live, laugh, love shit. The process is what you do every single day. You got to trust that. Right? So it's not bad to identify an outcome and aim for it. It provides you with the target. You got to know what you're aiming for. But once you've got that, now forget about the outcome. The outcome will be achieved when you pay attention to your process. That's all I've got for you. How are we feeling? Beck's the only one that looks happy. She's like, goals, yes, ready to achieve it. And you're all just like, yeah, fuck my life, process. This gets to be fun. Trading gets to be fun. And the cool thing about the process is the human you get to become in the middle of that. You know, I had a call with Beck before. Beck is like old school Tradehouse and she's just rejoined. And she's like, even your growth, Esther, over the last 3 years has just been like next level. And it's true. The person you get to become when you're solely focused on the process, unrecognizable. Don't shy away from the work. Don't shy away from the shit that comes up. When you get frustrated, you ask yourself, what would the highest and best version of me do in this moment? Because actually, I'm going to send you this video and I want you to watch it. Let's watch it together. You guys know I study athletes. Okay, let's share my screen. And then we're going to piss off desktop too. Can you guys see YouTube? Yeah. Go study this guy. This guy has the highest amount of.
How about Michael Phelps?
Oh, can you hear that?
What allowed him to be able to push beyond that moment is his rituals. Go study the guy. Most people who swim have these unbelievable workouts. He does 2 and 3 of those workout sessions a day. All the other swimmers in the beginning thought he was insane. You're overtrained, you can't do that. It's not physically possible. But he had a standard and the rituals to back it up.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. There are always going to be ups and downs, but I think it's really how you really, get back on your horse and keep going forward. And I think the biggest thing that I've always said is never give up. And I never have, and nobody ever should. They want something bad enough, they'll get it. They have to work for it. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but if you want it bad enough, they'll do whatever it takes to get there.
If you look at great athletes, for example, it's not that they were naturally talented, whether it's a Kobe or a Michael Jordan or a Federer. It was the quality of their rituals.
That and this, and then we'll turn it off.
When I said I wanted to win 8 gold medals, basically half the people in the swimming world thought I was absolutely crazy and nobody could ever do something like that. But for me, I was somebody who believed in it and somebody who believed in the process of getting there. I knew it wasn't going to happen overnight, like I said before, but every little small thing that we did was a small stepping stone in order to even be able to have that chance and that opportunity to do what I did in 2008. So, when I say from 2002 to 2008 was basically trial and error. So for me in 2002, that's really when I started amping up my event schedule, where I was swimming 4 to 5 individual events and having a couple relays at Pan Pacs, World Championships, major international competitions throughout that time frame. Because at that time at the Olympic Games, that's that's where I think the real truth comes out, because I think there are a lot of people who are very talented who can make it there.
I just want to stop here. Olympic Games, right? People can get qualified. Anyone can get funded. Who wins the fucking medal?
There are very few people who can deal with the pressure and the stress that happens when we're there. So that's why I say we had to make sure that we were physically, emotionally, and mentally ready, because I had to be ready to be able to kind of manage my emotions through that week. Yeah, winning a gold medal is absolutely incredible. There's nothing better than standing on the podium listening to your national anthem play after you had just won a gold medal. But for me, I'm somebody who I knew that I had 7 other events after the first day. So I have to throw that in the back of my head. I got to throw that race out. Even though if I, even like in 08, I broke the world record, won gold, won my first gold medal.
Another really important thing here is he won his first gold, right? He had 7 events after that. Think about this about trading. You win one trade, you get fucking hyped. What do you do with the next one? You lose one trade, what do? You get bummed out. That's what I said in my message to one of our students. You really want to come into my inbox with this complaint? Move on, focus on the next one. Go set yourself up for the next trade. This is the mindset you need.
I was like, cool, things are starting really well. So I have to put that behind me to then get ready for the next race. And on top of that, I have to make sure I'm eating the right amount. I'm sleeping the right amount. My body is as fresh as I can possibly be. So that means sitting in an ice tank, getting massages, getting stretched, all of these small things that end up adding up to the major end result. And that was something that we learned through that process. So for us, we always also tried to compare. Every day is a new challenge, right? Every day is a challenge, is a day that we can prepare ourselves even more. So for us, we would call it putting money into the bank. So at the end of the year, when we had a major international competition, we could withdraw that money that we had saved throughout the year. And look, I'll be the first one to tell you, there were a lot of days where I did not want to get out of bed. And I guarantee you, if I ask the question here, if everybody is excited to get out of bed every single day, if I saw a hand, I'm going to blatantly call you a liar. Because we all know that is far from the truth. But If you have those little small goals, those little small things that get you excited when you don't want to, it's going to make it even better and even easier at the end when you're getting ready for a presentation or the end of the year or this or that, whatever event you're leading up to. It's going to make it so much easier. And I think if you look at the greats in anything that in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. For me, that's what I've found. Because I can sure as hell tell you that there were days where I hated my coach. There were days where we got in fights, we got in arguments, we couldn't stand what we were doing. I would do things purposely to piss him off, but that's a different story. But you know, I think that was just really how we worked. Like he was somebody who was so perfect for me that if I ever would have swam for anybody else, I would have had the chance to do what I did, because he challenged me in ways and forced my mind to think differently. You know, for me as a kid growing up, I'm huge into music, and music is a big part of my life. And I'm a huge Biggie Smalls fan, and he wrote a song called "The Sky Is the Limit." And as a kid growing up, I believed that. I believed that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
And you still do.
I still do.
How fucking dope is that? I sent the link in the chat. This guy's phenomenal. Can't say that word. Phenomenal. You get what I mean. So that's it for me. This if you like, sure, there's personal development. The only personal development I do is shadow work and shit like this. I don't read shit like The Ego is the Enemy. I don't read Think and Grow Rich. I don't read that shit. They've got great things in them, but I study the people who have what I want. And sure, I don't want 8 gold medals, but I want his mindset. Go study people like that. Any questions? Have a good night. Oh, shit. All right. So good to be back. See you later.